Alright, so in this video we're going to be talking about how some of our Super Eagles players performed in the past couple of days. No UEFA competitions in play, so we had to make do with domestic league and cup action this week. We already talked about a number of our guys who did their thing on Tuesday, and now we're going to be talking about Wednesday and Thursday, a couple of real box office performances we had. But before we get into all that though, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So yeah, first we're going to start with Nottingham Forest taking on Manchester City. Of course, Nottingham Forest, the home to two Super Eagles players. And we're going to talk about Ola Aina, fullback, played at right back position, started at right back position for Nottingham Forest against Manchester City. Played 63 minutes in the match, but they lost the game by 3-0. And this was basically a bounce back game for Manchester City. Of course, they've been struggling a bit, not a bit, a whole lot. They've been struggling, and it just seemed like Nottingham Forest was like, okay, just take the win. It's all good, because they were just strolling around, in my opinion. They really didn't put up a fight. And the scoreline truly reflected that. 3-0. They lost the game. As far as Ola Aina, he had 35 touches of the ball, completed 15 passes out of the 18 he attempted for 83%. Did take one shot, which was on target. One aerial one out of the one he went for. 4 tackles successful out of the 4 he attempted. 1 interception and 1 clearance. I don't feel like he had a bad game, but like I said, the team was poor in general, so you got to be part of that. Then you also had Taiwo Awoniyi coming into the game just about the same time that Ola Aina left. He came into the game at the 64-minute mark. Didn't really get to do much because, like I said, the team was really just coasting. They were acting like they were up 3-0 at that point in time. They just basically gave up. Taiwo had 6 touches of the ball, completed 2 out of 4 passes, 50%, and 1 key pass in the game. And that was about it right there from Taiwo Awoniyi against Manchester City. So not much from anybody, like I said, just a tough matchup. Hopefully in their next game they can actually play some football, because that really was not cool right there, what we saw from Nottingham Forest. So next up, we're going to talk about Southampton taking on Chelsea in their EPL matchup. Game ended 5-1 in favor of Chelsea. Of course, both teams have a number of Nigerian players. Chelsea is hoarding a whole bunch of Nigerian players over there. But Southampton, they do have the Super Eagles players, Paul Onuachu and Joe Aribo. Paul Onuachu still out for Southampton, has been missing since their game against Liverpool. They lost that by 3-2. I felt like he had a great performance in that game, even though he didn't score. But he got injured. There were the rumors that it was a real serious injury. The coach came down, tried to calm down the fears, but even with that, we've not seen Paul Onuachu since then. So, of course, you're wondering what's really going on. Hopefully, he does come back sooner than later, though. Joe Aribo played the game. He played 90 minutes against Chelsea. Actually got a ball in the back of the net. Scored his 2nd goal of the season for Southampton. The equalizing goal made it 1-1. But right after that, it was all she wrote. Chelsea went on to win the game by 5-1, and not even a contest, to keep it real. But Joe Aribo had 58 touches of the ball, completed 36 out of the 42 passes he attempted for 86%. 1 key pass made, 2 shots taken, 2 on target. Of course, he got that goal in the 11th minute of the match, a cutback. He arrives just at the right time, just like Joe Aribo tends to do, and slots the ball past the goalkeeper. A nice finish. Dribbles, 2 out of 3. Aerials, 1 out of 1. Tackles, 2 out of 2. Interceptions, 1. Clearances, 2, my bad, not 1. But Joe Aribo had a good game for me. You're playing Chelsea. They're on a roll. They're steamrolling basically anybody. Can't really blame him for the loss. He did as much as he could do, but I mean, you're just going against a team that's regaining their self in Chelsea. And moving on, we're going to talk about Fulham's matchup against Brighton. Of course, Fulham, the home of two Super Eagles players, Alex Iwobi and Calvin Bassey. And before we talk about Alex Iwobi's performance, let's just hear from Alex Iwobi's coach.
We've got to talk about Alex Iwobi. He starts in central midfield. He ends up on the left wing. He scores at the start of the game. He scores at the end of the game. They're both brilliant finishers. He was outstanding.
He's being outstanding. And from the first day of pre-season, we start to have this feeling, definitely. He had so great pre-season. He's in a happy place. He's a fantastic football player. Last season probably was his best season in Premier League so far. And I was sure, repeating that, I was sure 1 month ago, 2 months ago, I said that he's going to be even better last season, and he's been great. He's taking the responsibility in his back in some moments to help their teammates. Really versatile player that I can use in many different ways. Tonight was difficult for him to play in a position that we know he can play. Last season he played sometimes, but he's not training there every single day, and of course the moments to jump, the moments to cover, they are completely different in that position. Even so, he did his best technical point of view. He's a top player. His decisions, the way he can assist, the way now he's scoring more than ever, and we are really pleased to have him. What a game from him again, and he deserves all the credits, and a great night for him.
So yeah, that was Fulham head coach Marco Silva talking about Alex Iwobi. You could tell that he's real proud, real happy with Alex Iwobi. And I can't blame the man. This is a dude that signed Alex Iwobi at Everton. Things didn't work out for him over there at Everton. But when he got a new job with Fulham, guess who he signs? Alex Iwobi. That just lets you know the confidence he has in this young man. And I'm just happy that Alex Iwobi is repaying that fate to Marco Silva. And there was before the season, or before Alex Iwobi moved to Fulham, he was talking about Marco Silva. He said Marco Silva promised him he's going to play in the midfield position. You know, Alex Iwobi likes to play in the midfield. And he also promised him that he will be playing in the European continent. He'll be playing in either the Champions League, Europa League, stuff like that. And back then, it seemed so unreal. But right now, y'all, it looks like this thing might be a reality. Fulham is top 6 in the EPL right now. They just got a 3-1 win over Brighton, and it was a spectacular win. Alex Iwobi, 2 goals in the game, and you look at the numbers: touches 53, completed 24 out of 35 passes, 69%. A little low for Alex Iwobi, if we're keeping it real. 1 key pass made in the game. 3 shots taken, 2 on target, and both of them were goals for Fulham. The first one was in the 4th minute of the game. A total gift. Ball just played to Alex Iwobi. He has basically an open net to aim at, and he does just that. Puts the ball in the net. 1-0 to score. Then you come to the 87th minute. Fulham up 2-1, and Alex Iwobi, the man that does the final job. He gets the ball, makes a turn, got a little lucky with the turn and the ball staying with him, gets away from the defender, smacks it with the right, and that's good night right there, y'all. That was good night. 87th minute of the match, it became 3-1, and that was that. He also had one other shot that was blocked. Then you go to the dribbles, 3 out of 4 completed. Then 1 out of 1 aerial, 1 out of 2 tackles, 1 interception, and 4 clearances. And back to the 2 goals scored today. Those 2 goals took a season tally to 5 goals in 14 matches. And you got to go back last season. That was his highest tally ever as a professional footballer. 5 goals in 30 matches. He has done that in less than half the amount of games in 14 matches. His stats are already better than they were last season. 5 goals, 3 assists compared to the 5 and 2 assists he had last season. And my hope for Alex Iwobi is that he doesn't look back. Keep going. You have the ability to do even more. You have the ability to be a double-digit scorer and assister. Keep going. Don't look back. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't listen to people telling you you're the greatest ever. Put your head down and keep working, because this right here, I believe you can keep this up, and you have the quality. That's just it. And we got to talk about Alex Iwobi's teammate, though. You can't just leave it like that and act like he just did it by himself. Now, Calvin Bassey also had a good game. I feel like he was tough defensively. No nonsense from Calvin Bassey. I really appreciated how he played on the day. He had 50 touches of the ball, completed 35 passes out of the 38 he attempted for 92. 3 tackles out of 3, and 3 clearances in the game. Then you got to also go to the 79th minute. He doesn't get the touch that puts the ball in the back of the net, but it was the man that was on him that got the touch, and Calvin was a handful for that guy. He could not handle Calvin. He kept on moving backwards, and that's how his back touched the ball and got it into the net. So you got to credit him for at least an assist or something for that second goal Fulham scored. So moving on, and we're going to go from England to Italy, from the EPL to the Coppa Italia, and Lazio took on Napoli last night. Super Eagles midfielder Fisayo Dele-Bashiru started the game for Lazio, a rare start for Fisayo Dele-Bashiru over there. He played 73 minutes of the match. Lazio won the game by 3-1. They move on to the quarterfinals of the Coppa Italia. That will be played next year, February. Of course, you're getting to the point in the season where the matches are coming back to back. So you will be seeing more and more action from these guys who are like French players. The next couple of players we'll talk about are kind of French players at their clubs. Fisayo Dele-Bashiru, he has been doing his thing with the chances that he has had. Did not score yesterday, but did have a good game in my opinion. Helped this team to that win. And we're going to go from Italy to Spain, and we're going to talk about Sadiq Umar and Real Sociedad taking on Conquense in the Copa del Rey. That match ended 1-0 in favor of Real Sociedad. Sadiq Umar started the game and played all 120 minutes. It went into extra time before Real Sociedad got that 1-0 win. And I felt like he had a good game. He did what he had to do. He did get a couple of chances that fell to him that he didn't handle right. He had one kind of on a tight angle. He smacks it, does not come too close, and had another one that just came to him real fast and he couldn't really handle it. But outside of that, I felt like he had a good game, especially when they were looking for the win. You could see what he brings to the team. He could go out wide, try to do things and get his players free. He could stay in the box and be a target man. He offered a lot of things to Real Sociedad, and they got the victory, 1-0. And with Sadiq Umar, what I saw in the last game he played for the Super Eagles might be the issue, especially when he doesn't do it at his club level. You get the ball at midfield, just touch it to your man and keep it pushing. But when he plays for the Super Eagles, he wants to dribble 1, he wants to dribble 2, he wants to do a little bit too much, and he's not doing a little bit too much with his club side. That might be the issue why people are like, oh, he's not playing so good, he's not good at all, because he might be trying to prove himself a little bit too much to Super Eagles fans, Sadiq Umar. But moving on, and last but not least, we're going to talk about the senior man, Iheanacho. Senior man, Iheanacho had another start in the Copa del Rey. So Sevilla took on Olot. Olot is a Tequera team, I think like 3rd division. Sevilla won the game by 3-1. Senior man Iheanacho played 90 minutes in that game. He actually scored a goal in the game, scored in the 73rd minute of the match. Player plays the ball across goal. Kelechi arrives and puts the ball past the goalkeeper into the net, and that made it 3-0. Then late in the match, the final goal was scored, a set piece for Olot, and that was that, 3-1. Now with Kelechi Iheanacho, you could tell he was a little bit rusty, especially earlier in the game. His touches not as good, but as the game kept going on, you could see him coming into the game. Did have a great chance that he was given that he just couldn't bring the ball in, and another one that his shot was pretty tame at the goalkeeper, but you could see him working and working, and at the end he got his just reward. Again, that goal, that was his third goal in 2 matches in the Copa del Rey. Of course, senior man Kelechi Iheanacho is Mr. FA Cup, and he moves to Spain, and what does he become? Mr. Copa del Rey. Now, hopefully this kind of spurs Kelechi Iheanacho on to do his thing in the other competition, the main one, the La Liga. So far, 7 appearances, 4 of them starts, 3 off the bench, 0 goals, 0 assists. That gotta improve. No two ways about it. That definitely has to improve. In my opinion, he's not getting enough playing time. You look at the last 2 matches, didn't even come off the bench. What are we talking about here? And the player that you got starring over him, 13 appearances so far this season, only 2 assists, no goals. So it's not like you got Victor Osimhen starring over there. You got somebody else that's struggling, and you just giving him the opportunity. Maybe because he's Spanish, maybe because he's been with the club a little longer, whatever. But you giving him the opportunities, and none is coming out of it. So I feel like at the very least, keep this guy playing consistently. Let him keep playing. Okay, he comes off the bench here. Okay, he starts here. But don't just say no playing time. But it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on these performances. Who do you think had the best performance? Of course, in my opinion, Alex Iwobi is not even close. But let me know your thoughts. Put it in the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Peace.